Dang it, Bobby.
Hey everybody, you're watching Bobby Revenue TV, and I'm your host, Bobby Revenue. And today's going to be the start of my new podcast where we're going to be talking about all things hip hop, news, new tracks, mainstream and local, and we're just going to deep dive into the culture. And I really just started this podcast because I wanted to just talk about some topics that I couldn't really do in short form video. So I thought maybe an interview podcast style would be more suited to the content, and I could get a little more in depth with my stories and just tips and tricks to y'all. So for our first topic, I just wanted to talk about the Oklahoma hip hop scene and just some things I think we could do to improve it, some things we're missing, and just my take on how it's changed over the last 10 years that I've been in it. So, first of all, I think one of the things we need in Oklahoma is more, we're starting to get it, is more like say cheeses and lyrical lemonades. Like I'm starting to see Oklahoma Instagram accounts like I think We Are Oklahoma Artists and Shark Vision and some channels like, I mean, not channels, but some Instagram profiles like that. They're really doing a lot of good things. They're sharing people's like posts for albums and stuff when they come out. They're making lists of like the top Oklahoma albums that are new releases that have came out that Friday. So I think that was a really good thing that's helping. It's we just those platforms, I feel like we just need to elevate them more. Like they need more followers, more viewers, and more fans to make the platforms really have power and be able to push an artist. Because the reason if Say Cheese posts you and it can really help you is because of his reach and his audience and the big platform he's built. So I feel like us as Oklahoma artists, creators, fans, all that, we should go support, the Shark Visions, the We Are Oklahoma Artists, the Oak A's, Cloud, like those type of Instagram profiles and platforms we should go support more, because the bigger they get, the more important they are going to be to promoting artists. Like if you get your album shared on an Oak A list of new releases, it could really help your Spotify streams or your streaming numbers in general. But that can only mean something if Oak A is getting the views and the reach that they need of a Say Cheese or a Lyrical Lemonade. Excuse me. So that's one thing. I also think it's infrastructure, like having easy access to funding for music, and that can include like we need more labels here that are willing to sign more artists for advances and stuff or put money into artists. That could mean we need the banks more open to lending artists and musicians money so that they can actually have a budget, to get features, to pay for studio time. And even beyond that, marketing and promotion. Like I've started to see some independent artists on Instagram doing Spyda, like they're doing sponsored posts. So those sponsored posts are actually helping them, and they're really spending money on that marketing, and they're independent artists. So I feel like if more Oklahoma artists put more money into marketing and promotion, then that could really help instead of just dropping the song in the video. And artists, I'm going to give y'all a tip. The song nowadays doesn't exist if there isn't a music video, especially if you're an independent artist. Because, yeah, Beyonce can drop a picture and an MP3 of a song, and that gets like millions and millions of views. But if you're an independent artist and nobody knows your name and you drop a song out of the blue with just a picture of a cover art, that might not be as good. I'm telling you, it won't be as good as doing a video and dropping the song at the same time, because nowadays people want to see the music. It's visual. It's all about, popularity and clout and how it looks. And it's always kind of been about that, but it's even more about that now. Like you gotta have the look. People gotta be able to see you in your music videos and relate to you so they can relate to your music, because you're a new artist and they've never heard you. And just having a hot song isn't going to cut it anymore, because everybody makes music now. Like your cousin makes music, your homie from down the street makes music. So it's like if you hear a good song and you can't put a face to the song, it doesn't really matter as hard. Just being honest. So yeah, Oklahoma artists, shoot the video for the song if you really want to push it, and drop both at the same time. Like take the Glorilla like approach to this, because like look, she she did F and F, and then the same day, her producer Hit Kid was like, "We have to do a video now." So he did that video the same day they finished recording it, and then by the next day they had it out and edited. So that means it's all about timing too. Like sometimes it's cool to wait on music and vault music, but sometimes it doesn't work. Just being honest. So another thing I can see is that Oklahoma needs is we need more fan support. But that I think goes back to the artist as well, because the fans aren't going to want to support you if you're not a likable person. They're not going to support you if you don't look like you already have success. Why would the fans want to support you and you look like you're struggling and you don't have nothing? It's like, and then you're bragging in your songs about all this money you have or all these things you're doing in the streets, but when we look at you and see you in person, it does not reflect what you're rapping about. So why would they want to support you? So fans can tell a lot of the time if you're not about that life, or you're rapping about stuff that you actually haven't done, or you're rapping about things you don't actually have. And if you don't learn how to fake it till you make it, that's another thing I want some artists here to learn is, man, fake it till you make it, bro. Like if you can go and rent a car and take a bunch of pictures in it. If you go to a nice hotel, go and take a bunch of pictures in it and make it act like maybe it's your apartment or you're staying at a nice condo or some nice place, even if you're just staying at a hotel, fake it till you make it. So, yeah, those are some of the things I think, could help the Oklahoma scene. And also more unity. We just need more unity, guys. There's a lot of competition, like people being very competitive against each other, but I don't really see why, because we're all independent, or we're all underground still. So it's like, why are you trying to be competitive with somebody and you're pretty much in the same place? You're still stuck in Oklahoma just like the next person you're competing with. So what's the point of being competitive? We need more unity. And I think more unity, and that means inviting people to studio sessions that you want to get a feature from or want to work with maybe, or putting people on shows and helping your friends out, not just your friends, other people that are actually talented. That's another thing I see is a lot of nepotism. Like people, they put on their homies on shows or on albums or on things, and their homie might not be the best one suited for that job, or that role. And there might be another way more talented person coming to this person asking to be put on the show, asking to be featured on the song. But because you're homeboys with this person, you're like, no, I don't want that guy I don't know. I just want my friend. And that's fine. But I feel like we should elevate talent too, not just nepotism and, elevating our homies and people we like. So that's just my opinion. Those are just some things I've seen in, Oklahoma scene that I would like to see get better. And I feel like it's going to be a concentrated effort of everybody working together to make this better. So the next thing I want to talk about is my homie DJ Wayne in this thing, my big brother. He actually released a song recently called Slide featuring Super J and Sayer, right? And it's a really good song. And I told Wayne, the second day I seen him of the music video shoot, that, I've been waiting for him to do something like this because he has the platform. DJ Wayne in this thing is the DJ Khaled of Oklahoma. No question, he is. And I've seen him grind his way to the top. I've seen him when when I first met DJ Wayne in this thing, he was an artist here called Aisha's DJ. And at my school that I went to for high school, Northeast, Aisha did a performance and at one of our pep rallies, and Wayne in this thing was her DJ. And that's the first time I ever met DJ Wayne in this thing, And from there, I've seen him, go on tour with a national recording artist, then come back to the city and open up his own club, then open a dispensary, then open, just businesses. And he's really grinded his way to the top, and I really respect that and actually look up to him. Like, man, if Wayne can do it, maybe I can do it someday. I can do it big like my big bro, right? So he finally decided to release his own solo song called Slide. And y'all go check the video out now. It's on YouTube. It's getting thousands of views. It's doing really well. He partnered with this record label from Oklahoma called Credit Records. And, they're doing a really good job at promoting the song, getting it to like skating rinks and on the radio and Sirius. And I think they're trying to get it on BET and World Star. Like they're doing a lot of big things. And I really respect them for that. And I'm very proud of Wayne for that, as I've, said. So I was actually in the music video for it, y'all. Like, go check it out. I'm only in it for like maybe a second, 2 seconds of a shot. It's like an overhead shot. And I shared the pictures to my Instagram of me in it. So y'all can go see it for the proof. I really am in that video. Even if it's only for a split second, I'm very grateful to them for even including me in it. I'm grateful for that. So the story of how I ended up in it was basically I just seen a flyer for the music video shoot on Wayne's Facebook page, like pull up to Juneteenth, Washington Park, I think, and get in the video basically. So I really wanted to take this opportunity and do this because I've actually been in a decent amount of I've been an extra in a decent amount of pretty big Oklahoma music videos, to be honest with you. So I definitely wanted to get in this one as well. So I went to, Juneteenth, and when I got there, I think they'd probably already shot like maybe 1 or 2 shots. I don't know. But I kind of got there a little late. And when I got there, I seen Wayne and Super J and them, I think by these motorcycles and these lowriders. They was filming a scene there. So I tried to get in that. And guys, I'm gonna give y'all a tip. If you want to be an extra in a video or something, make sure you get by the artist when they're filming, because the camera only captures what's in front of the lens. So if you're on the side of the lens or in the background or something, the camera's probably not going to see you, and you probably won't end up in the video. So I learned, get by the artist, get in front, because that's going to be the people that ends up in the video when they start editing it. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm trying to be an extra for promotional reasons, to promote myself and market myself and get my face out there, then you definitely want to be in the front. So yeah, just get in the front by the artist, y'all. Especially if you have a relationship with the artist and they're cool with you, like, me and Wayne, we're really cool. I look up to him as a DJ. So, okay, I did those scenes at Juneteenth. It went really good. They showed me a lot of love. My big bro, J Poe was there. He's the voice of Oklahoma, one of the biggest hosts out here when it comes to shows and live events. He's the biggest, really, him and Wayne, and they got it on lock. So, it was very nice to see my friends. So the next day there was another shoot at Skate Galaxy, right? And Skate Galaxy, I was there getting behind the scenes footage as well, and I also got some at Juneteenth, but I got more at Skate Galaxy that day. And they did some scenes with some kids on the bleachers. They did some scenes in the skating rink with Sayer, doing her stuff, rapping her parts or singing her parts. You know what I'm saying? So then we went outside of the skating ring and got like this lowrider shot on the outside of Skate Galaxy, and it was funny. It was fun. I'll tell you why it kind of was funny, that situation. Anyway, I saw one of my other good friends, Nitro. He's one of the first big rappers from Oklahoma to use my beats and like publicly put them out there and do a music video and do everything. So I'm very appreciative to Nitro for giving me an opportunity when I was really young. Like when I was a senior in high school, I worked with him. So like the fun. Now let's get to the funny part of the slide video shoot. So this is the second day. We're on the outside of Skate Galaxy. We've already shot the inside scenes at Skate Galaxy. It's probably getting like 5 or 6. Like it's starting to get near like sunset almost, but not really. But sun's still pretty hot and out. But anyway, somebody tells us like, yeah, the cops are on the way. Somebody called the cops. You guys got to hurry up and shoot this scene. So we only had like one take to do this before the cops show up and break everybody up, because there's so many low riders and so many people on the side of this little parking lot outside of Skate Galaxy, right? And we're trying to get the scene filmed before cops come and break everything up, right? And it was really cool. And here's the other thing that happened. So they were trying to play the song for the music video so people could rap along to the words from the car stereo. But what happened was, like, the person's phone in the car wasn't connecting to the Bluetooth audio of the speakers, right? So it was like we're sitting here like trying to film this last shot before the police show up, and now the audio for the music playback isn't working for the video. So everything was just kind of going wrong at once, right? So then somebody in the background, like in another one of the lowriders in a truck or something, they're like, oh, fine, we'll just play it out of my truck. So they play it out of their truck, but you can barely hear the music. But we've listened to the song Slide so much that we know the words. So all they had to do was play that song. And even though you could barely hear it from the truck outside of the shot, coming from the speakers of that truck, we still were able to stay on beat and like lip sync to the words pretty good. I was like, wow, this is like a choir or something. Like we're all like synchronized together. So that was a little fun story, on the Slide video shoot. We got that last shot. It wrapped, and it turned out to be a great video. Actually, I really liked it, and I looked at it. I watched it several times, and the song's fire as well. And I just think it's a really great look for Oklahoma because it's all Oklahoma-based things, like the Oklahoma DJ putting it out. Then you got the Oklahoma artist on the songs, the features. Then he got an Oklahoma producer to make the beat. And he got an Oklahoma videographer to shoot the video and edit it. So it's like, really just hometown based. And I really like that. And I think we're putting on for the state with that song. And everybody go out and support Slide by DJ Wayne. This thing, it's a really good song. And he has the platform. So I think we should really push this and promote it because it actually has a chance of breaking through because of the people that is involved in doing it. They really know what they're doing music business wise. So shout out to Wayne and this thing and Good Credit Records. Y'all are doing a great job on Slide. Keep pushing it, y'all. I hope it goes to #1. And so that's what I think about Slide. I really like it. Let's talk about the Native American element of Oklahoma hip hop, like how they're intertwined together and how the Native American culture really mixes together here with the hip hop culture of Oklahoma. And two of the people I think really pushing that forward in the mainstream eyes is Mike Bone and Funny Bone. Funny thing, I actually used to know them from back in the day because I've told this on other podcasts, but I used to go with my dad to this flea market called Old Paris Flea Market, right? And Old Paris is still there today, and they sell a lot of things, and it's really cool. It's a big place. Big flea market with lots of selections of products. And anyway, I went there with my dad. This was probably when I was 15, 14, when I just got to Oklahoma, right? And I seen Mike Bone and Funny Bone there, and I think they were selling like t-shirts and CDs, mainly CDs, on the inside at the flea market. They had an inside booth. And I think I went up and talked to them, and just told them I was a producer and I make music. And I think they were really like encouraging, like, yeah, man, do that. So I appreciate the love they showed me even back then when I was a young kid, just a starting out producer with, no credits or no nothing really. They just, motivated me and told me to keep going and keep doing it, I think. So I've known them since I was a kid. And now, they had this series of Reservation Dogs, right? And it's a really dope series that they got. Like, I like how they're putting on for Oklahoma again, like Wayne, but they're putting on for him in terms of like TV. So shout out to Mike Bone and Funny Bone, actually. They're doing some big stuff. I see them on like red carpets and, promoting things. And, they're obviously Native American. And I think they was on America's Got Talent doing a song as well. I respect their hip hop that they do. And honestly, I would work with them. I would send them some beats or, do something with them if they ever reached out to me. They're really doing it. That's all I gotta say. Like, shout out Mike Bone and Funny Bone. Hats off to y'all. Y'all did it. Reservation Dogs is a great look. Like, y'all are starring in your own TV show, and it's some Oklahoma rappers that are homegrown talent that aren't like necessarily inaccessible. Like, I've seen them at the flea market. So they're just regular people. and they're putting on for the hip hop here. And also another person I know that really does it is Tony T, or DJ Nemesis, as y'all would know him. DJ Nemesis, he's my friend as well. Shout out Nemesis. He's actually in a group with Chief Peace and my other friend Rodney. I think Young Hippie Kids. And Young Hippie Kids, they're doing it big too. They're getting lots of views. Chief Peace was already doing stuff with Shaq, if you know, through his song, I think it's Hippie Kid. He has a song called Hippie Kid that was real big, with Shaq sharing it was like some years ago. And that really helped boost the profile of the song for Chief Peace. And now he's together with DJ Nemesis and Rodney in a group. And they're really doing big things as well, making great music, shooting beautiful music videos, really high quality, great production values and stuff. I liked like the Western theme music video they did. I really like that one. And so yeah, DJ Nemesis, I always see him like sharing like Native American events or history pictures and stuff. And that's really good actually. Like we're just, it's raising awareness about, Native Americans in Oklahoma. And also I feel like Oklahoma, we're starting to not sweep it under the rug as much. Like we're confronting the history of, how we put Native Americans on reservations or Trail of Tears. We're confronting those things, and we're having conversations about that, just like we're having conversations about the Tulsa race riots. Like we're not in Oklahoma, some of us, not all of us, but some of us, maybe the younger, more progressive generation, is not afraid to talk about our dark history and have discussions about it to make it better. Because if we just wash away history, we're not going to learn from it. That's the thing. Like, we can't ignore the Trail of Tears. We can't ignore reservations. We can't ignore all of the things that happened to Native Americans because of our government. So, y'all, I want to talk about my Nitro story, right? How I started working with Nitro, aka Daddy D. For a little backstory, Nitro was one of the first big rappers from Oklahoma. Like, he got signed to Queen Latifah in the 90s. And some of his early songs when he was Daddy D, before he changed his name to Nitro, like, they were real G-Funk, Dr. Dre sounding songs. And I actually really liked that about Nitro, his earlier music, because I was into Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and DJ Quick and Warren G. I was a huge fan of those people. So when I heard Nitro stuff, it really made me like, oh, I want to work with this guy. Because when I first got to Oklahoma, I looked up like who's the biggest rappers in Oklahoma. It was like Youngstar, Nitro, and some other people I forgot, right? And then I looked up who's the biggest producers in Oklahoma. CL McCoy, Spyda, the wise musician at the time. Like, this was probably 2014. So I knew about the players, the big people in the industry when I got here. So, and I've worked with most of all the people I set out to work with. And it's been a blessing too. So how I started working with Nitro is like, either I hit him up on Facebook or he heard about me because I was working with some other producers, KT and Nut P, like some of the OG producers that I think he used to work with back in the day as well. So I was working with them, and either he saw me working with them or he just heard my name was getting so hot that either he reached out to me on Facebook or I reached out to him. I forgot, it's been so many years. But when we connected, I just started sending him beats. Like, he was like, I wouldn't say amazed, but he was just like surprised that this level of creativity and dope beats was coming from somebody so young. Because I was probably like 17, 18 at the time when I started, sending him beats. So one day I sent Nitro this beat called, I don't know what it's called, but it's called Got 'Em online. Nitro song called Got 'Em, featuring Welvin the Great, right? And it was so crazy. I sent him the beat, and then he was like, oh, add this vine, sample this vine of this guy, Welvin the Great, saying like, got him, and these nuts and stuff. It's real funny. But this was around the time like Vine and like comedy songs by Beat King and stuff was starting to pop off. So he heard the beat first. Then he had me sample these two vines of Welvin the Great back when these vines like just came out or were very fresh and new. So it was like a very viral, relevant moment type thing to do. So I sampled them, and we went through a couple different versions of this song to get there, because Nitro would keep having me change words or repeat words or change phrases and stuff till we got it perfect. I probably sent like 20 or 30 versions. I don't know. It was a lot of versions just to get the hook right, right? And then I think maybe he told me like make the snare dance a little bit more, like add some more notes and rhythm to it. So I did that, and then I kept revising the hook how he wanted it. And he actually got Welvin in the video, which is insane. But I was like, wow, he got Welvin in the video. That's so awesome. He got a celebrity person in the video. And so he went to, I think he went to Miami to shoot it, because, the video's on a beach and stuff, right? And I don't think we got like beaches that look like that in Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we have that. So I think he went to Miami to do that. And he filmed the video with Welvin in it. And I think he put it on World Star actually too. And it got like 500,000 to 1 million views. Like that song itself has like, I think almost 1.5 million views across all platforms, like the video, like his YouTube channel, World Star's YouTube channel, the Facebook post on World Star with his stuff, the Facebook post he posted of the video, and all together the numbers is like 1.5 million, right? So that was my first big, and that was the first time I heard one of my songs on the radio as well, because I think he got it played on Power 103.5. And I was like in high school, like that was my senior year, like right before I graduated from high school. And it was crazy. I remember going to school the next day after it played on the radio near the end of the year, right? And this girl, I was like, yeah, I was on the radio. She's like, oh, what song? I was like, it's a song called Got 'Em, featuring Welvin the Great. She's like, oh, I think I heard it. Yeah, I heard it yesterday. So I'm like, one of my classmates heard a song I produced on the radio. And that made me like feel really good. Like, as a musician and producer, you never forget your first song on the radio. That's like your first child or something musically, right? When you hear your song on the radio, you get all excited and you start calling people like, hey, mom, check it out. I just got on the radio. Dad, check it out. It was like that for me. I was really excited. And yeah, thank you, Nitro, for that opportunity. I never thought the song would get millions of views like that. I'm not saying I didn't believe in the song. It's just for a song I produced in my bedroom to get millions of views and do those kind of numbers and reach that many people. It was really surreal that I was the one who, like, I created that beat and started the genesis of the song, basically, all from my bedroom. So yeah, producers, keep grinding. Just because it's not working right now, it can't. Sometimes it's the song you least expect is the hit or the song that could change your life. And that song definitely, I remember I had I think Nitro told me this. He called me one night late at night, and I didn't answer the call, and I called him back the next day or texted him, and he's like, bro, what are you doing? I had the president of Sony Records on the phone. Da, 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 da. So I was like, I could have been signed to Sony Records like in high school. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, just being honest with y'all. I had the president of Sony Records on the phone trying to call me, but I didn't know, and it was late at night, and I didn't answer the phone call. So I tell Nitro to this day, I regret that. Like, I wish I would have picked up that phone call. I tell him, but things happen for a reason, and just because it didn't work then, maybe some other day in the future, an opportunity like that will come again for me to sign to Sony. I don't know, but I can't cry over spilt milk. I just got to deal with it. So for the next topic, I want to talk about one of my mentors and the people that really inspired me to get in the game. As I was saying to y'all, I looked up like Oklahoma hip hop biggest producers and like the list of them when I came here. And Spyda was one of them. Spyda the Wise Musician. This was while he was still alive, mind you. And as I said, I was working with KT Major Way and Nut P. Like, I think Nut P is related to him. And so I was working with those people, and Spyda just seen them post videos of me on Facebook, and I was like this young, hungry producer that my talent was surprising people, like how much of it I had and how diverse and versatile I could be with instruments and melodies and stuff. my drums weren't as good as they are now. I've learned over the years to get better, but my melodies have always been great in my instrument playing. Spyda, he saw one of the videos of me like making beats with KT, I think, and he commented on it like, I want to meet him, or I want to work with him. And shout out KT, man. Shout out Major Way, bro. I love you for that. I think he's the one who like connected Spyda with me, like gave him my number, or told him to message me or something. So Spyda hits me up. He's like, I want to work with you. And we just, we found a day, and this was before I could drive, y'all. This was like when I was 14 or 15. So Spyda actually came to my house and picked me up and took me to his studio, y'all. And Spyda was so nice and generous, y'all. He took me to a convenience store on the way to the studio. I was like, get what you want. He let me get like a bag of chips and like a drink or something. That's all I wanted, That's all I wanted. And I got that, and he bought it for me. And he just picked me up from my house and got me a bag of chips and soda, without even really knowing me, just based off my talent alone. And that's taught me something like showing people respect and hospitality in the music business, even if you don't know them, or if they're not your friends yet, or you don't have a relationship built with them. Like, you still have to show them kindness and make a good first impression. Because honestly, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I only got to work with Spyda one time, that time before he died. We was talking about working and doing, he was gonna get on a song of mine and some more stuff before he died, but that was the only time we actually got to meet up, because I connected with him in his last year of his life. So when I went and hung out with Spyda at the studio, this was probably July or something, like July 1st, 10th or something. It was in the summertime. And Spyda died, I think, that Thanksgiving or Black Friday. So, from the time I recorded with him, or went to his studio to the time he died, there was only like 4 or 5 months. But that one time he took me to the studio changed my life. So when I got to the studio, I played Spyda some of my beats, and I had this one Rick Ross, like Justice League epic orchestra beat I made, and he couldn't believe that I made it with no samples. And he told me, like, Bobby, if you did that with no samples, you played all them instruments, you are like a god. You're going to be amazing, and you're going to be big in music production. Because he just couldn't believe I made this big orchestral arrangement with guitar and bass and strings and all this stuff from my computer, and with no sample, just all my melodies and chords I came up with. And that was really flattering to hear Spyda tell me that. And then I think I showed him one of my loops. Like, back then I was even making guitar loops like in Reason or something. Yeah, like Reason. So I was making like wah guitar loops, like some Curtis Mayfield, like 70s movies, like Superfly sounding guitar, right? And I gave it to, like, he's like, I want to use that. I'm gonna make a beat with it. So I think I put the MP3 on like a flash drive, and then he loaded it up on his computer, and he made a beat to my beat in like Reason. And if you know like software, Reason, like I think you still have to hook up the actual like the instruments to the mixer inside of the software, like digitally with cables and stuff. So it taught me signal flow. And anyway, Spyda made this cool like UGK Pimp C sounding beat with my guitar loop, and he added some melodies to it, and it turned out really cool. After Spyda made the beat, he told me, yeah, I'm gonna try to get it to UGK, Bun B or somebody, like a Southern artist like that. And I was looking on his wall of like plaques. Spyda had a bunch of plaques and stuff. Like, I think he did a song for Tech Nine, and he also did Hennessy by Nitro, actually, featuring a Bucket Lope. And that song is like a huge song. And I seen the Hennessy plaque in Spyda's like studio, and it was dope. I think his studio was on Classen, like this commercial building they had, and he had one of the studios upstairs in one of the rooms. And it was so surreal being in that room, because like I'd seen Spyda's beat making videos where he'd shown you how he made beats and like how to make this certain type of beat. And I think some of them were filmed in that studio. And it was just surreal. Like now I'm actually in the studio of the videos I've been watching of him. I was a big fan of that. Like I love beat making videos, especially when they're edited like to 5 minutes, like they're really carefully edited for time and stuff. I really like when you have short and sweet music beat making videos or tutorials. I'll watch all types of those videos, and Spyda has some of the best. And now I'm getting to be in the studio with him. So, okay, Spyda, after the session, I asked him, like, what can I do, to be a better producer? And he told me, like, just remake, like, charting songs and don't release them, but learn from the processes of what makes a hit. And, like, I've done that a couple times to learn, and it really is helpful. And also, Spyda told me, like, you could be the greatest. Like, he didn't tell me I was the greatest producer, right? He just told me I had the potential to be. And ever since Spyda told me I could be the greatest, like, I'll be a monster when I'm older, like, that always kept me going. And that was like the fire that just kept me going all these years to keep pursuing my dreams. Because my hero, Spyda, told me I could be the best. And I was going to work as hard as I had to be that and not let him down. So yeah, that's my Spyda story, my one Spyda story. But that one night, he changed my life, and he didn't have to, pick me up. He didn't have to show me kindness and, get me a bag of chips and get me something from the convenience store. He didn't have to do that. He didn't know me. And then he took me home, and that was it. But that one night changed my whole life and my whole trajectory of my life, because I don't think I would be still making beats this long if I didn't have that OG teacher keeping me grounded and keeping me like focused on being the best. So yeah, R.I.P. Spyda, the wise musician, man. You changed a lot of people's lives. I still miss you. I still think about you, bro. Thank you for helping me, Spyda. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. So in other news, a big thing that's been happening recently, not recently, but a few months ago, was a lot of Oklahoma venues, like clubs, were getting shut down. I think Pour and the Pink Parrot are examples of that, of clubs that shut down. And yeah, man, it's sad seeing like pillars of Oklahoma nightlife and people that are trying to do positive things and promote people in Oklahoma that actually help Oklahoma artists. Like, it's sad seeing them get shut down or them having to close. I think that probably has to do with the authorities and the government not they don't want Oklahoma to be a rap capital yet, or they're not seeing us, like, they're still seeing us as the country music state, Reba McEntire and Toby Keith and stuff. Like, they're still seeing us as that, and they're trying to hold on to that old way of thinking. And they're like, oh no, we don't want these hip hop clubs, these urban clubs getting too big and spreading all this rap music everywhere. And I really think that can change with more like the older people of these governments and police departments, they're gonna like retire, and then it's gonna be their trainees and their like kids or the younger generation is gonna have to step up and fill their shoes of those judges and politicians and senators and police officers and stuff. So hopefully when the newer generation comes into these positions, they won't be as hostile or trying to end hip hop and hold on to the old way of thinking as the old generation was. Hopefully they're more like progressive with it, like just they're more supportive of Oklahoma hip hop. And I think the cannabis industry in Oklahoma has really helped that this attitude come into play. But the cannabis industry is making a lot of money right now, so money talks. So it's like, if you want them to support the hip hop industry, we got to show that it's a profitable business and it's bringing taxable dollars back to the city and the state, for roads and community projects and stuff. Just like we have cannabis generating all this big taxes for the government, so we can have more money in, the government coffers, right? It's part of it is on the police and the government here, but another part of it is like we actually have to create a music industry here to be taken seriously. Like, How can we expect the government and police to take us seriously if we're not generating any big taxable dollars for them? And that's not talking down on any of the clubs. I'm just saying money talks. Also, when we get the younger people in these positions, it's going to help with the relationship between the club owners and the police or the government. And maybe that's something we can do as people that own the clubs or promoters that throw the shows, is work more on community outreach in terms of talking to your police officers and your police department, talking to your local government, like just having a relationship with them. So yeah, one of my mentors actually, I think I remember one of the police officers used to come to the studio and like talk to us, and like they kept a friendly, cordial relationship between my mentor and the studio owner and one of the police department's people. And I think that's a good thing, and we should encourage more of that instead of just being like, F the police, don't, we don't like police, da da da. Like, hip hop sometimes can be like one of the messages of hip hop can be that sometimes. So maybe we need to work more on relationships with our government and police officers and reaching out into the community more. And that's all I have to say on that, really. I feel bad that all these venues are getting shut down, and I hope the people who started them maybe make more venues, like do different clubs, like start a new club with a different name or something maybe, and still keep trying to push hip hop in Oklahoma forward, because we do need the venues, we need the shows, we need our own, like in Crush Groove. I was watching Crush Groove, right? They had Disco Fever, which was an old hip hop club in New York that got shut down, but it was like the genesis of hip hop, like Grandmaster Flash and all these big early hip hop pioneers performed there. So I think we need those type of venues in Oklahoma as well. And I think we're getting there, though. I just hope more people don't get shut down, and we can come to some sort of agreement or start some sort of relationship with our police and government. I know I keep saying that, but I just trying to hammer it home. Another thing I've noticed is like, for some reason, only like usually one or two Oklahoma events can be like full capacity, full of people at one night. So it's like if you have 5 events, which back in the day we used to not have as many, hip hop open mic nights or events and stuff going on every night. Like you didn't have multiple events. Like usually it was 1 or 2. But now you might have 5 or 6 different events happening in the city at the same time. So I've noticed sometimes it's like only 1 or 2 of those shows or clubs might actually be full. And I think one of my mentors explained to me, it's like the demographics. We don't have enough fans of hip hop here to support like multiple clubs being popping and at full capacity in one Friday night. We only have enough hip hop fans and stuff for one club to be popping. And maybe that's true, but again, with the rise of the younger generation, I feel like we're starting to go away from the old attitudes, like just all country stuff. We're starting to have kids that are growing up in the TikTok era and loving hip hop, and they love hip hop. And I think maybe in the next 10 years we're going to see more fans. But also as an event promoter, if you throw in a show at an event, you got to do promotion, you got to do giveaways, like ticket giveaways, you got to maybe get on the radio and promote your event. Like I feel like maybe they can do more to promote their events, so that when there is 2 or 5 events on the same night, that their event isn't the one that has no people in it. Like I've been to like multiple events where that's happened, and I don't know if it was preventable or not, really. Like it's just, and part of me when I was there was wondering, like, is it empty because the person that threw this event didn't promote it enough, or is it empty because he tried to throw a show on the same night as this other person's big show, and that's why. So it's always this big tug of war, like, and I don't know if other cities have this problem of not only 1 or 2 events being able to be at full capacity in a night, but maybe maybe if some of the hip hop events don't niche down too much, like, because like I'll see like clubs that play all type of music, they'll be full. But then sometimes a club that only focuses on hip hop music will be at like 25% capacity. So maybe it's including other genres as well as hip hop, but still like keeping hip hop as one of the main focuses, but using, dance music and pop music and Afro beat, those other types of music to draw more people in. Maybe that'll help. That's all I can think of. I'm trying to think of solutions to this, but it's really a demographic thing, having enough fans of hip hop and fans of the music we make to support a scene. And that also kind of goes to the artists as well, because they gotta get more fans and get more people to like their music, so they'll be more willing to show up to their shows. Just my opinion. Y'all take it how you want. I'm just saying. But yeah. So recently I've been working with this artist called Ohni, and she's really dope. She actually has a project coming out called Fuck the World on August 1st. And I actually have 3 songs on there, I think. And I'm really like happy and proud of her that, she's doing this, making this album. She's already had projects out before that I liked as well. But I know this project's going to be really special. And so we've been working together probably like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And we got some songs in the vaults, like hits, like really good songs, y'all. And I've just been waiting for them to come out because I knew they were good songs. I just wanted to see what would happen how the fans would respond to them. And recently she shot, not recently, but kind of recently, like she did a music video to one of the songs I produced, which is actually the title track, which is interesting. I produced a song for her called Fuck the World, and now she named her album Fuck the World. So it's really cool, man. I'm really happy for that. She would name the album after my song, that's really dope. And the song is, I did F the World. I've said this in a previous video also, is I did it as like, she had a song called Clap For Me. And it was a cover of No More Parties in LA by Coi Leray, right? And I thought, man, her fans really love this sound from her. So I'm like, what if I give her an original beat that can bring this sound out of her again, but an original song, right? So I played all the instruments, came up with the chords, everything on it, did the drums, and I sent her the beat, and I was really hoping, I sent her the beat in a pack of beats, probably 5 beats, and I was really hoping she would write and pick that beat. I was like, oh, I know Oni can do some crazy stuff with this beat if she uses it, right? And if she likes it and wants to rap on it or sing on it, right? So she did. And the first time we met up to record, we recorded that song. So I think what happened with it was we did the song together, our first session, and we did like 2 other songs too that are dope. And she took the rough version and went and re-recorded it with somebody else, which I don't have no problem with. I'm like, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? Do you, it's your music. So she re-recorded it and it sounded great on the re-recorded version as well. So I was like, oh, this is dope. Then she went and did like this little music video, promo video thing or something with Scholar Kid. I really like Scholar Kid's visuals. She's been going hard. She's very consistent, like constantly doing her thing. So respect to Scholar Kid. You built a dope brand, a dope image, all like images and everything. I really like you dope. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Mariah. Yeah. So yeah, they did the video for F the World and they dropped that and it got like thousands of views. It went up. Like there was so many real views and everything, right? And YouTube views. And then we did then OK, the platform OK actually, like I hit them up basically to do a beat breakdown of it, and they let me do a beat breakdown, and I filmed it here actually. I filmed it at the studio, the beat breakdown myself, and I just sent them the files and they edited it up and put it on their channel, and that got a bunch of views too. So I'm really happy about that. Thank y'all to OK for the opportunity. I appreciate that. I'd love to do another video for them too, like a beat breakdown or anything, whatever. So yeah, that was cool, So go check out Ohni's Fuck the World on August 1st. It's a dope project, dope album. She's a dope artist. I really believe in her. So, lastly, I want to talk about, this is a little controversial topic that I've seen, some people talking about is artists leaving shows after they do their performance. They just leave the show and don't stay like to watch any of the other artists perform. And I've actually been like the person that's been leaving the show after I perform or my group performs. So I've been in this situation before. So I'm kind of biased, but I just want to give my take on it. Is some of the like promoters or people that throw shows or maybe even the venue owners, like they might feel a type of way about if you're an artist, you come do an open mic night or you come do a slot at a show, and then you as soon as you step off stage, you're out of there, you just go. And I could see why, they would be offended or they might feel a type of way about that because, if we're here promoting artist unity, how are you going to just, like go walk off after you do your show and not show any of the other artists support for their performances? So I get it. I get where they're coming from. But I've also, been the person that left after I did my performance too. So I can't lie. So I feel like sometimes there might be an excuse for you leaving. Like maybe you had to go take care of your mom or go pick your sister up from work or something. Like you had to leave at that time. So I feel like maybe the promoters or the people throwing these shows shouldn't be as mad when somebody leaves immediately after they perform if they only do it like a couple times, like maybe one or two times. Maybe then you don't need to get in your feelings about it or try to down talk the artist or try to blackball them or whatever would be their retaliation for you leaving their event early, right? But maybe if it's like they're doing it 5, 10, like every time they perform at one of your shows, they do it, maybe then I could see it being a problem or them like being justified feeling a type of way. But if I just left the show one, Saturday night after I perform, I don't think they should just, be so against the artists and be like, oh, you don't respect other artists, like going so hard on the artists and chastising them. I feel like everybody's situation different. You don't know if somebody has a medical emergency they got to attend to after the show, or they got to pick their mom up from work or something, or they got to give their car back to their sister. You don't know people's lives and what they got going on outside of music in their personal lives. So you can't always make these blanket assumptions like, oh, all artists, y'all got to watch every performance. Like, bro, I'm going to be honest. Sometimes you don't want to stay till 3 in the morning watching, 5 people or 10 people do a bunch of songs like that you don't know. Like, I'm just being honest. Sometimes you don't want to do that. Sometimes you want to leave at 10 o'clock. You don't want to be there for, another 4 hours till 2 o'clock. Like, it's just this blanket statement that people try to make, like, you got to stay for the whole show and watch every performance and da-da-da-da-da, be the last one to leave and all that. If you walk off and leave the show immediately after you get done performing and don't watch any of the other artists perform, the promoters could take that as disrespect, that you're not respecting the other artists and their art. But then on the other side, there's the artist point of view where you as the promoter aren't being mindful that people have lives and personal things going on, and you're not respecting their time that maybe they do have to leave after the show to handle something. So it might just be a respect, like both sides, like the business owners and the promoters aren't feeling respected, and then the artists aren't feeling respected because you're not respecting their time and their freedom of will to be able to leave and come whenever they want to. And then the artists aren't being respectful of the promoters and the other artists performing on stage by leaving early. So it's really just a respect issue. But I think if we just respect each other more and be more open and upfront with why we had to leave the show early, and just be open with people more and honest, maybe we can come to some sort of middle ground. So thank you for watching my podcast. I really appreciate y'all, sitting here with me through this long video. I'm going to cut it up in little parts, but yeah, thank you for watching Bobby Revenue TV. Have a good day, y'all.